guys, Switch Whisper. I'm just gonna do some pad repair with you guys today. I've already got the Xbox One X here opened up, motherboard's out, and I've removed the HDMI connector, as we can see. And we're going to show you guys what it looks like to do a little bit of pad repair, and show you guys my method. If you watch Northridge Fix, it's fairly similar to his. So I started using these copper pads that I just get from Mobile Centrics, and so they look like something like this. Okay, let me get a focus. So yeah, they look just like that. Yeah, I just take this top row. Let's see here. And so we can take this. If you take this sheet and peel, you'll see those guys are left. So we're going to take those guys and we're going to place them real nice. This is almost like a surgery. So there we go. And then you just take these little guys like so. Try not to curl this part too much. And they just stick down. So they'll just stick down on here. But right now what we gotta do real quick first, I'm just gonna put this to the side. And what we gotta do is we're gonna have to scratch off some of these layers off the PCB. I use a nice little grinder tool, little handheld. And I've actually purchased this tip from Northridge, from his shop, because the one that came with mine was a little bit thicker. This one's a 0.6 millimeter. Mine tapered down to probably, about this, but I wanted, not quite actually, maybe mine was maybe 1 millimeter rather than 0.6. But you can see here, so we have traces that we can scratch up, so we can create a connection there. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. I think that's one. Let me just check here. Oh, maybe not. This one's hard to tell. So what I'm going to do is use my soldering tool just to see. And this is actually a really nice tool I picked up off AliExpress. It's just kind of a handheld, very fine tip soldering. It plugs in with USB-C, and you can actually hook it up to just a battery. This was fairly cheap off AliExpress. It's called the Mega Idea. Kianli Mega Idea. So if you guys want to check that out. Now I just want to see here, because I'm not sure. No, that's not a pad. So that looks like, oh, it's tough to tell. But it feels indented, and I believe because it feels indented, it's not. Yeah, that's not a pad. So yeah, we have 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pads to do today. And we're gonna get this Xbox One X up and running for a customer. I do appreciate all the emails I've gotten from my Wii U repair video. We've gotten quite a few emails for people wanting to repair their Wii U's. I believe I might lower the cost of the repair just to accommodate some of you that are not in Canada and I can't offer free shipping for. But just so you guys are aware, if you ever want to ship in a repair, I am located in Canada and we are able to do a free ship in and a ship out for Canadian customers. Whereas if you're in the United States or anywhere else, you're going to have to cover the shipping in and shipping out yourself. So yeah, I might reduce the cost. I mean, for anyone in the US, you're paying quite a bit, 30% less or so, just based off the currency conversion. So just something to keep in mind. So with this part, actually, yeah, let's do the grinding first. Let's get these pads ready. Or sorry, these traces ready. So just lightly touching on here. You just want to create a little bit of shininess like that. There we go. And the nice thing is these are above the other grain, these little yellow parts. So you shouldn't have any worry about causing any damage as long as you don't grind too deep. Wow, this one works quite a bit nicer than mine. My previous tip I had was very light touching. There we go. And this one's a mega idea as well. This is part of the Ganley sort of tool set. So that looks good. We just want to see shininess. When we know it's shiny, we know it's exposed. Just clean it off with some alcohol. And then we're going to just create some... we're going to put some solder on here. Just to create these in this order. I feel it's a lot easier. So that these are prepped before we put down the new traces. So okay, we're ready here. Oh, we're not ready here. Better turn that on. And to be honest, I might want to quickly do these pads that are still here, just so that we don't have to disturb everything once we have it all down. You'll see what I mean later, because it's very sensitive. Once you put those new pads down, they tend to be fairly flimsy. It's tough to create a very strong connection when you have such small sort of pads like these little guys right here to work with. There's not a whole lot. It's like a, you know, a shoestring. Not shoestring. It's like a thread. Just a thin little thread you have here. So make sure they're a little bit bulbed, sort of raised up. You want as much as you can get on there, but you can't get a whole lot on. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the area so that I can stick down, because the underside of these little copper pads I'm going to add, they have a little bit of adhesive. Good. And so they'll stay in place for us. I don't like the look of this, so I'm just going to clean it. Just some solder left over from the work I did on this last night to take off the connection. If you've seen my previous videos, I did it just the same. I usually I try not to worry, even though I see the pads ripped underneath. Excuse me. I try not to worry too much, because you want to make sure all the pads that are weak are coming off. So anyways, we're gonna turn this guy off and do a little bit of surgery, and we'll do a couple and then might fast forward after that, just so that, because this part takes quite a while, the surgery part, so to speak. Let me see, let's get this a little bit lower so I don't have any worries about it jiggling. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I used 2 sets of tweezers, one to grab them off the sheet, another to hold them in place. And I usually like to aim. I aim for sort of halfway. And we just want to put that down. It's got some adhesive, so if you just hold it there for a second, it will sit down for the most part. We only need it to make it to here. So yeah, right about there I think is pretty nice. Because sometimes the prongs coming off the HDMI don't go all the way. They go to about, maybe to about here, you know, about 3/4 of the way. So you want to get it, see, this is a weak pad as well, but it's there, so we're gonna just leave it. This whole connection is going to be weak, and I always advise the customers of that we do make it as strong as we possibly can, but just for future reference, you know, being very gentle with the HDMI port, because we have had to recreate the missing pads, and therefore it's not going to be as strong as a factory pad, right? It's just there's no way of doing that to make it as strong as a factory pad. However, we will add some solder mask after, or sorry, just some solder mask, some of that green stuff on the bottom connection, like this whole bottom section. We're gonna mask it all up, so that'll increase the strength a little bit of these fine hairs. Speaking of which, we're gonna zoom in, because we want to see the work we're doing real close. We want to have, I want to have this row, these pads that I put in here sort of match the same height, and filling again more the center part. So yeah, let's go. Let's get these all on here, and then we'll be able to tin them, and once we tin them, we can slap down the new connector. As you can see, these things are very flimsy, and we need to use a second one sometimes. Okay, so we've got all the pads put down surgically, replacement pads I should say, and now we just need to set them in place. And so we'll have to do this gently one at a time as well. And we're just going to get some flux and put it on here. I try not to put too much, but enough to work with so that we don't have to do too much cleaning. We're going to use the micro tip. Whoops, whoa. Get some fan action going. And this part's can be just as challenging as the previous one. So let's get our tip ready. This is good. And now what I like to do is hold not too close. But hold the pad down while I put it in place here. So it's a little bit far off, but that's okay. We'll work with what we got. And we'll move the pads around after if we need to. Just a quick sort of fixation. These ones are the tough ones because you don't want them to go together. There we go. There we go. Uh-oh. That's why we don't want to be too close to the tweezers. Otherwise you'll solder your tweezers in there as well. There we go. There we go. There we go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. Just gotta be careful, sometimes you run into challenges like that. Because these guys are so thin. They're gonna stick to everything. Okay, that looks okay. So now the tough part of this whole adventure is to not undo the work that you just did. So I usually use this horse hair brush, but I sort of just dab it. And I'm just dabbing the alcohol down so we can see if anything's moving. See, there's one moving there. So that one needs to be redone. So we'll redo that one real quick. It was this guy. Yeah, we can see it's moving. The whole bottom part as well as the top part. Get our tweezers. Try to hold it down. There we go. I think that's solid now. And we can just test these areas and rip the lead sort of tail that's coming off here. We can get rid of those. So there's that one. There's that one. There's that one. That one. We want to make sure we get these out of here so we're not causing any shorts. And this is one of the easy ways to see if your work is good, because if you can rip these without affecting the pad you've just put on there, then there's a good chance this is a fairly solid connection. We're going to test every single one of these connections multiple times before we're done here. Okay, now we get the Q-tip. We're going to try to clean this without upsetting the work so that we can first test, and then after testing we're going to use the mask and cover these connections up. Nice thing is that little bit of glue on the underside tends to keep these in place, but sometimes I like to just get my bottle and just add some alcohol here like this. And then we're gonna take our already pre-moistened Q-tip and just roll. So I push down and then I roll out. Roll out. And that'll prevent them from moving much while still sopping up the flux. Because you need to get rid of that flux so you can create a good adhesion between the board and the soldering mask. And even just taking a tool like so and cleaning, because you can see there's sort of like a funk. It's a mixture of the adhesive, flux, and heat. It all causes this funk. Okay, so we're getting closer to clean. I might just try a little light brush here. If you just keep it sideways like this, then you can see the disturbances that you're causing, so as to not disturb too much. See that one little brush thistle is doing most of the work for me. Just trying to get these black specks out of here. See right here's between these two guys, if I can get that nice. So this is more fine work. Some of the tougher parts of this type of repair is being gentle. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, see, that's pretty clean. Shouldn't see much here, because this is the area that we're going to be putting all the mask, and we want it to be strong. Okay, maybe we'll do one more light Q-tip just to soak up anything that's left there. That looks good. Dry it real well. It's a little bulb here. Okay. It's the only one I don't like is this one. Oh, look at that. Oh, it is connected. Was he asking about our screen protector?
It's just short his.
Is it broken?
Yeah.
Should have offered him a free one. Next time you see him, tell him I said he gets a free screen protector anytime he wants. He brought us all this packaging stuff. Might as well, right? It's not very solid, this one. So I'm going to just quickly reconnect. That looks better. Oh, whoa. Or does it? Now that looks better. Okay, a little more cleaning. And we'll be ready here. Okay. Alright, one of my favorite things to use for the mask is actually this wire pulled out of an Ethernet cable. And this stuff, you know, there's a ton of little pairs, as we can see. And I just take out a single one. You could also use something like a needle. But I like this stuff because it's just really thin. It doesn't hold a lot, because you don't want too big of a pool of this, otherwise it takes a long time for the UV to get through. This is a UV mechanic curing soldering mask ink. That's the full name on the packaging. But again, just basic stuff I get from Mobile Centrics. And we're gonna leave out, oh actually, we should test real quick first. So I'm just gonna do this one single one quick, and then we're gonna test. We're gonna put the multimeter in diode mode so we hear the beep, and we're going to test each one of these from the tip to the end, just to make sure we got a beep. Yep. Yep. Sometimes I'm just not pushing hard enough, so. Yep. 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 Good. Yeah, I'm trying to push very gently so that we don't disturb the work we've done. And it looks good all the way. So let's do the mask. Whoa. Try not to put too much down. Again, I don't want this stuff to take a long time to cure.
Oh. Yeah, it's like
Thin coat like this is good. And I like to go up to about here. Oh. Whoa. So one thing about these little wires is they can jump sometimes. So just watch where you're putting the mask. If you put it on the pad, you gotta make sure you take it off the pad. You don't want any interference there. But we're trying to get it high enough here so it sort of locks these wires, you know, the little dangling tails for these guys. We want them to kind of lock into place. This is like a glue, a UV resin style. So I just, almost like playing the violin, just sort of go back and forth along these bottom strings. We want to make sure they're actually covered, but not too much. Good. Maybe we'll get just, if we can get just a touch in that one area. Let's see if we can pull it down if we got too much. So, like that. Try not to create a pool. This is supposed to just be a thin mask. Okay, so it looks pretty good. And with my wire, I just chop that end off. I don't want that green mask everywhere. Okay. Put the UV light on it for a couple minutes and we'll be back. And what I like to do is actually just have I just use this little Wi-Fi chip I've got here, just to sort of lean it here. And I'm gonna go grab myself some Q-tips. So now to tin the pads, we need these little guys ready, just like these big guys. And I like to take this off if I can. We don't want any interference here. Good. Again, we're going to use tweezers to hold down. Although actually it's going to be tough too, so we'll see if we need them. And then on these pads, I like to just touch them with flux. Try not to. Don't want to overdo it, but we need a little bit of flux on there. Pretty good. And let's use the little guy again. Don't want that much. And we need this fan. Oh, this thing is tough, I tell you. Wow. What a mess. There we go. It's a nice enough amount. Uh-oh. So this is where the tweezer would come in handy to pull this guy back. Doesn't look really nice, so hit it with a little more flux. You can hit it with much more flux here because it's not a big deal. We're not going to be cleaning. Let's get a little more of this. That's a bit too much. There, nice. It's tough because this is a very fine tip. Let's just get some on there. There we go. So now we're going to take our big tip here and we got to clean out this hole that we just created. That's okay. We should be good. Okay, so all the hard work is practically done. At this point, we're gonna put it on just like we would a normal one, using hot air. Just putting it in place and using hot air. And then afterwards, we're gonna make sure all those connections are good and resolder any that need to be done. But, you know, lo and behold, we're almost there, guys. Almost there. At this point, I'm gonna stick my rubber under here. And just so we have a level playing field here. Now notice they're all up and down, up and down. Now, that's okay. Because again, the prongs, we'll see here as soon as I put this connector on, they've actually got quite a bit of room, sort of wiggle room. But that's why I try to keep them as level as I can to start. You'll end, you know, with something that looks sort of like this. That's kind of what we want to see. If I could push this forward though more. Each one's a little bit different, so this one's actually going to be a little tougher. Now what we're going to actually want to do is try to clean off without disturbing. It's going to be tough, but we need to get a little bit of this green off just so we can make sure that we can get this connection solid afterwards if we need to. So these little bits of wire shouldn't have any of that green. Dun, dun, dun. And this is tough because you need to not push too hard so that you don't sever that connection. But push hard enough to clean the green off. Okay, that's about good. The only one is this one was a little tougher to work with here. There, okay, that looks better. Dun, dun, dun. What was that? Something fell. Okay. So let's flux it up. I want to flux this shoot up. Nice amount of flux. And we're going to put this guy in place. Put a little bit of pressure. Okay. Now I need my temperature down a bit. And you'll see, guys, we got the angled 90-degree tip, so it shouldn't be in your way as much. Should be able to see quite a bit better now. And this is going to be a fairly quick process. And we don't really want to stop anywhere and overheat anything. Okay, looks like we're starting to flow. Okay. We'll do the 10-second countdown. Okay, I'm pretty happy with it. Just a light bit of air here. Okay. So now we've got everything, we feel set in place. We're going to just undo a little bit of this solder mask. I'm just going to clean a little bit off just near where the connections are so that I can double check and test those connections again before we put the legs down, so to speak. So let me get my other tweezers. We got a little bit of a sharper. And we'll cover this up after. But we just need a little bit out. Just enough out so we can do our test. And I try to do it farther away. The farther from the wire, the better. I don't want to disturb that wire. Whoa. Just about jumped there. I need enough room for my probe to go on there. And we're not using the little drill tool for this because we could damage the connection we've just created. I mean, we could damage it easily with this tool I'm using too, but most part, if you're gentle, you won't do any damages. Okay, let's test, and then we can finish this guy up. Quite a bit of work on this one. 10 pads is no joke. Good. 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 I don't know if we have a good there. Let me switch prongs. It was this one, I believe, or was it this one? We checked that one. Yeah, that one's good. Nothing there. It could just be that I don't have enough touch here. Because if the mask is a bit too high, my probe is not fine enough to get in there. So sometimes we scratch off a bit more. To make sure we'll be able to touch those connections. And if not, then what we'll do is we'll touch it with a soldering gun. Okay, we got it. It just wasn't pushing down hard enough. Good. 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 They're all good. That's what we like to hear. So now, we'll mask it up. Oh. One more quick mask. And we will do the legs and test. just want to do one pull down. So it's not too thick. That's good. So UV light, a couple minutes, a little bit of heat too. Oh God. Nice. Okay, let's do the legs and test this guy out. And we never clean the back side here. So I'm just gonna heat this flux and clean it. I don't want all that black stuff in my solder work. Good enough. Make sure you add enough heat on these. And we're ready for the tests. And there you have it. There's the finished look. Definitely not better than factory, but better than not working. Let's get a Q-tip there just to soak up anything left. Just a gentle roll. Good. Looking good. So let's test it and finish this one off. Okay. Alright, we're going to go into the testing console view. Now we're going to switch this out. Oh, we still need this power button. Okay, we got our power button. Now let's plug in our power cord. Where's my HDMI? It's just a little short guy. And there's some power. And let's see the display. Alright guys, so that's beginning to end. You know, just sped up some of the parts, but as you can tell, you know, the pad work was successful. So that's a good 2 hour. It's been about hour 39 minutes for that repair. But and last night, you know, at least 20 minutes I put into it. So, but I'm pretty happy with the results. So, right on. We'll see you guys in the next video.